Hello and welcome to WestMusings, 10-minute museum talks, brought to you by the Western Museums Association with sponsorship from Wells Fargo, here this afternoon at the Springs Preserve here in Nevada, and also with thanks to post-production work from Soulstream Media. Visit their website at soulstream.net to get a better sense for the work that they do. Our third speaker this afternoon is Wendy Meluch. Wendy is one of the main people who, at least in the years that I've known her, helped me to better understand that we don't really have museum visitors, albeit her specialization. We have guests. These are people who come into the places that we share, and that we need to be most attentive and primarily focused on what their interests are, rather than the all-consuming thoughts that we have about how we got here. Having said that, Wendy's presentation today is a beautiful testament to the lives that we live and how we better understand them. And with that, and as we break the mold, I introduce you to a woman sometimes known as Wendy.
At its best, a belly dance performance is a collaboration between the dancer and the audience. Together, we can create something greater than the sum of its parts. As a performer, I don't want to do this alone. I need you, and I don't take my audience for granted. I work hard to be prepared for a performance, understand your needs, understand the venue, and at the very least, I have to practice hard enough to put on a good show. It's my job to entertain you, and when I'm doing that well, your attention feeds me and makes me dance better. In this way, we're collaborating while I'm leading the dance. The job of a leader, whether in museums or some other field, has a lot in common with the belly dance performance. Certainly, the leader can't do her job without other people, and she has to respect her colleagues, be prepared for them, and prepared for the work. Under an effective leader, team members give of themselves, their ideas, energy, labor. And in this way, they're collaborating on something greater than themselves while one leader leads that dance. Most of us don't start off as excellent dancers or superior leaders. As with anything we do, there's a learning curve. As a dancer, I came through 3 phases that I think of as activist, hostess, and priestess. In our museum community, we describe a similar professional evolution in terms of emerging professional, mid-career professional, and leader. For me, understanding the parallels between these 2 different roles, leader and performer, has helped me recognize what contributes to excellence in both of them. So, let's dance through those 3 phases, starting with emerging professional. You're working hard to get your name out there, striving to prove yourself to yourself and to others, and I know you're busy building your networks. Like you, at conferences, I was crazy busy, taking as many workshops as I could afford, as many sessions as I could squeeze in, collecting as many business cards as possible. And as a new dancer, it was much the same. I was in class at least 5 nights a week and pulling on any gig I could. I feel I was an absolute activist, and I feel like the activist dancer is saying, look at me. mid-career, your reputation is being built by your building experience. Your track record is growing. Confidence is growing. You have an expanding ability to engage with the work and with your colleagues. This has been and continues to be true for me. When it was time for me to start digging a little deeper, I began presenting at conferences and volunteering on the WMA program committee. In dance, I think of this mid-career phase as hostess, because as I became more comfortable on stage, more confident, I had more bandwidth to focus on you and invite you in. This is fun. Join me. Well, just as I'm coming to understand that middle age never really ends, mid-career may not end either. However, you reach a point where you've seen a lot of projects go from beginning to end, sometimes finishing nicely, sometimes not. That kind of experience gives the leader the perspective to recognize opportunity, navigate difficulty, anticipate the needs of the team. Certainly, as I grow professionally, I'm more able to guide a team through what can be a difficult evaluation process. And I'm more confident pushing or pushing back when the situation calls for it. In dance, many years of performing, teaching, and directing gave me a vast vocabulary of music and movement and audience dynamics. And this brought me to the priestess level. All that experience enables the leader and the priestess to carry a vision of the whole from which they can offer a creative response to their dynamic worlds. They improvise using a combination of tried and true technique as well as invention to bring people together in something greater than themselves. As priestess dancer, I have an energetic feel for my audience. In live performance such as this, I can play with the attention that you give me. I receive that energy, take it in, share it back. It becomes a profound cooperation. This is so much better when we create it together. The three phases I've presented describe an arc or a continuum, but truthfully, we cycle through this repeatedly as we dance through different chapters in our lives. So take a moment and consider where you are now in the dance of your museum career. Do you find yourself in a situation that demands the energy of the activist? Go for it, but think about protecting yourself from burnout. Be strategic about where you invest that precious energy. Maybe it's time to take stock of your own track record and step into the role and the mindset of a mid-career professional. Your state association and WMA have a lot of opportunities where you can grow professionally while lending a hand. And take a look around you. Is the field asking you to take the lead? Does it need for you to take the lead? The lead dancer has a tremendous responsibility to recognize, coach, support, the other dancers. And this gives the leader a means of shaping the choreography fundamentally. So I ask you, leaders and future leaders, how will you shape our museum world? Wherever you are in this continuum, you're a critical part of building and sustaining our field. I've come to think of it as a grand choreography that we're all developing and dancing together.